Y'all know the man coming to the stage. He's one of the funniest persons in South Texas, one of the funniest comedians I know. I'm going to say it more, he needs an introduction. Give it up for Mr. Larry Garza!
That clone play. Wow. A standing ovation from some of you before the show started, but not all of you, so fuck off. This is a big deal. Guys, thank you all so much for coming. It's a big deal for me. And I'm going to ask you to clap multiple times. Give it up for every comedian that came up. Regis Velasco, Tori Poole, Chris Greco, and the co-owner of Upstage, Bobby Smith, guys! First black-owned comedy club in San Antonio. Isn't that awesome? That's badass, man. Yeah. All right, so who's up for the foreclosure? That's terrible. That's terrible. I got 5 on it, Bobby. I got 5 on it. No, I'm very proud of him. Me and Bobby came up together, and he opened this beautiful club, and I'm dying of stage 4 cancer. So as you can see, we're pretty much at the same level. For those of you who've never seen me before, my name's Larry Garza. I am a stage 4 cancer fighter, currently fighting it now. It's been a motherfucker. It's been since 2016. You gotta watch what you wish for, because when I first got it, I was so afraid of dying. I prayed, to survive, and I did, and it sucked, so. I fought hard to keep my kidneys, and I unfortunately lost both of them, and now I'm on dialysis. And it's been keeping me alive, and it's interesting. And I've always wanted to be that uncle that has been dying of the same disease for fucking years. You go to Thanksgiving and he's like, oh, no, hombre, mija, my being on dialysis. Like, shut up, you've been on it for 40 years, you're fine. Shut the fuck up. Like, and I remember before I lost the kidney, I was like, I want to be that uncle. And I feel real bad because I'm sure all my nieces are like, okay, shut the fuck up. It's weird when you're like dying, the deals that you make with God and the promises, because I wasn't a big drinker, so I thought it was kind of unfair that there's like, you're not going to be allowed to drink, and I'm just like, oh, I fucking drink anyway, right? But it's very similar from what I understand to when you're drunk on the toilet, hungover, and you're praying like, please God, let this go away. I promise I'll never drink again, right? And I was on the toilet pissing blood, and I was like, please God, I won't eat French fries anymore. Because I'm on what's called a renal diet. Have you guys ever heard of a renal diet before? Yes. Okay, it's weird because it doesn't suck, and it's very specific, and it contradicts itself a lot. You guys don't mind if I sit down, do you? Okay. I've been trying this whole not stand-up comic thing. I know it's like a hack thing. Look, you guys are all my friends, right? So I knew this was going to be a different kind of show because Chris and Tori and Bobby are great comedians, and they've been doing comedy for a long time, and so they told you jokes. I'm not ready for that. I got these yesterday. I was at the ER yesterday. I was coughing up blood, so I've been I've been peeing blood, and then I lost my kidney. Now I don't pee at all, right? And that's one of the like real truths about kidney cancer and people on dialysis. And I realized that all of the abdominal pain that I've been in, and the randomness that I would just bleed out of nowhere, and how embarrassing that was, I realized that I know what it feels like to be a woman. And I'm so sorry. I feel such empathy for you beautiful creatures. I think about it, I deal with, for a short amount of time, what you dealt with from when you're 13 to 60, and I dealt with it for a few weeks. We have a fucking fundraiser. You bled out of your genitals and didn't know, and it hurt a lot, and the women are like, yeah, fucking whatever. But it just proves how sweet you creatures are, and empathetic, because you actually do feel sorry for me, because men are fucking pussies. That's really what it boils down to. Like a guy, like kidney stones, like the clots that I passed, they told me felt like kidney stones, and they hurt like a motherfucker. I compared it to, you remember when you would get a strawberry slush from Sonic, and a piece of strawberry would get stuck, and you're like, like that? Like, my dick did that with clots, and it looked the same too. I ruined Sonic slushies for even happy hour ones. Like, I'm saving money, but it just reminded me of bad shit. And they told me, they're like, it's comparable to childbirth. And I went, oh, that happens every day with women. And we expect them to go to work like right afterwards. I've been off work for months, and I passed clots like months ago. So I think more men need to pass kidney stones, just so there can be maternity leave for all women. Like, it's horseshit. Because geez Louise, I'm so sorry, you guys. I hear it all the time, like, I'm having a heavy flow day. And you guys just work with it? I couldn't imagine getting stabbed in the dick and then holding a business meeting in a skirt. You guys are warriors. But I'm the one raffling televisions. So there's that. One of the like weird things about what I'm going through that they didn't tell me with dialysis and with everything is I completely lost my libido. Like it was so like I lost a lot of things. The renal diet, like I was talking about, like I can't eat fries anymore. Like I can't have potatoes. Like things are high in potassium and stuff. And I remember like being on a feeding tube and kind of being offered like a Marie Antoinette, like fries or death. And I'm just like, I want to live. I don't eat fries that much. And so now, you know, people are like, oh my God, Larry, we can't have potatoes anymore. And I'm like, yeah, but at least I can have breath. At least I can have life. Fuck potatoes. I don't give a shit. Like my whole perspective on life has changed so dramatically because the renal diet's not that bad. It's low sodium, food's good, high protein. I get to eat meat a lot. I'm sorry. I have vegan friends here, and like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll bite a pig, but I have to. Like, it's not out of meanness that I do it, but if there was like a little, is that a pig pin that you have? So yeah, like because of my renal diet, like if there's like a cute little pot little pig, I'd be like, but no potatoes. It's very odd, like I can't have wheat bread, I have to eat white bread. I can't have tomatoes that are high in potassium. Can't have cheese that's high in phosphorus, right? So like I have to eat like a spoiled white kid. I don't know how to eat like that. My uncle who passed away, who helped raise me, he used to tell me, I used to say, Uncle, hey, that's how he stood up, hey. I'm hungry. Well, there's leftovers in the fridge. But I don't want leftovers. I want McDonald's or Bill Miller's. Like Mexican restaurants, Bill Miller's, McDonald's. And then he's like, you eat what's in the fridge or you're not hungry. And I'm like, oh. And see, we were poor. Like, and the thing about it is, my Uncle Mondo, I loved him very much. He's my godfather. He's a very gruff man. Doesn't talk like that, right? And you know that you're broke, not if you had generic food, but if you had name brand food, but it wasn't the items that they were known to make. Like, if you went to some sort of Family Dollar or something like that was cheaper than, regular grocery stores, they would have like Valvoline mac and cheese. And you're like, what the fuck? You think it's motor oil, but it's mac and cheese. You didn't know they made that, but apparently they did, and apparently it's cheaper than generic. That's how you know you're broke. And they would have a spokesperson that didn't have any, like Daryl Strawberry presents Valvoline mac and cheese. And it would be in metric, I guess Valvoline fucking sells a lot of mac and cheese in Europe. Got some bootleg pasta. Or he would just, he invented something that's very famous now, and I'm upset that he didn't get the patent. When we were growing up, I would grab, a bag of, Swiffer tortilla chips. And reach in, and I would have a handful of popcorn, pretzels, Chex Mix, potato chips, and tortilla. My uncle invented munchies. He didn't like multiple bags open, so he would just shove them all up in the biggest one. And he's like, well, it's all the same. It's all the same. He would say. So I would have my bologna sandwich, and then sometimes he would make special things. He would be like, you like Chinese food, right? What? You like Chinese food? There's Chinese food. Okay. And I would go and I lift up a little casserole dish, and it was just cabbage. And I'm like, I thought you said it was Chinese food. Put soy sauce on it. And you know what? It fucking tastes like Chinese food, I'll tell you that. So I was trying to eat plant-based. I promise. But I grew up as a poor kid. And I think that corporations have kind of made things full circle. Because there's certain things that I ate as a broke kid that are now called superfoods. Like kale. Kale used to be the piece of lettuce that was like underneath the salads at Luby's. Because no one wanted that gross shit. But it was still edible, you know? But I'd eat it because it was food. Or that big old lettuce that they would put under mozzarella sticks. Remember that? I ate it. That was fiber meal. What I think is crazy now is that they package vegan cheese and vegan deli meat and all that. But that was just the fucking broke sandwiches that we used to eat as a kid. Do you remember? You're laughing really hard. I think you and I grew up. Do you remember lunch slices? Yeah. Are there any poor kids? Lunch slices. They looked like cheese. And that's it. Cheese doesn't sweat. Right? Cheese isn't supposed to sweat, right? And cheese is supposed to go bad, right? That shit lasted for years. It was like in an MRE for my military friends. You'd find lunch slices, and I remember reading the ingredients for lunch slices because it was cheaper than American cheese. It was like vegetable oil, canola oil, all that stuff, cheaper. Lunch slices, and then luncheon loaf. Do you remember luncheon loaf? That's not vegan. That was just fucking pig asshole and pig ears and scrappings and filler. We would have burgers with filler. And now I'm like, I can't eat that. That's impossible. And now, and Burger King and McDonald's and, sorry, let me pronounce it correctly. Burger King, McDonald's, they got sued for using too much filler back in like the 90s. Remember that? That they had too much filler, they didn't have enough beef. And now they're selling burgers that are pure filler with lunch slices. And now the poor kids can't get Valvoline mac and cheese. It's frustrating. Because like when we first started the fundraising and stuff like that, right? Someone turn off your bomb. There's a sign that says silence your bombs. We'll die together unknowingly. And trust me, there's a lot of bombs that are gonna come from this stage. So, what was I talking about? Anyway, talk about what?
When you first started the fundraising.
Thank you very much. When I first started the fundraising, a lot of people were donating food to us, which was really, really great. But they were treating us like the food bank and giving us all this shit that they didn't want to eat. And it was kind of insulting because you have to be like, oh, thank you so much. I love lentils. I love lentils. Lentils are great. Oh, wow. Yams. Lentils and yams. Nom, 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 nom. God bless you for giving me. I mean, this has dust on it. Okay, and top ramen with holes in it. God bless you for doing that. And top ramen is a scary fucking food. It's a scary food if you really think about it. It's good. I enjoy it. I can't eat it, you know. But do you guys remember that they had the glowing ad in Times Square where the ball dropped? It was like a cup of noodles. Those things are 15 cents. How much profit did they make to get the fucking Times Square ad and only charge 15 cents? You ever think about that for a second? The profit margins on top ramen? Not just how many people buy it, but they don't need to advertise on Times Square. Everyone knows what top ramen is. Do you think that there is a human being in the United States of America that traveled to New York and was like, wow, this is great. Look at the M&M store. Look, a dead guy. Look. Look, a magazine shop. There's Elmo's. What is that? Top? Is that a noodle bowl? That must be really expensive. Actually, it's only 15 cents! Oh, Jesus. I've been cooped up too much. The pandemic, like I was just at home. I was at home with my beautiful wife. I know Andy's been announced a few times, which is good. She's been really, really great, and it's been fun because all we did was at home and hospital. We didn't go anywhere. This is like maybe like the third or fourth place I've been since 2019. It's been fucking crazy, and so I don't know the etiquette, and I was excited when the pandemic hit, you know, because all the anti-vaxxers were dying. I'm just kidding. They're still alive talking shit. That we were able to just be at home. I took it like, oh, cool. Even I get to work from home, get to work on stuff, do things, and then the fucking cancer was like, nope, I got other plans, right? And so what sucked was that we were at home, but we didn't have a chance to do anything, so our house was still messy. Oh, I'm sorry, it was lived in. And I don't understand why that can't be applied for every term that is unclean. Like if I didn't take a bath for a few days, why can't I just be lived in? My car is just lived in. Me and Andy's relationship, it's lived in. But when I got the cancer again for like the fucking 8th time, and it really fucking took me out, Andy, you know, right there by my side, like, she won. finally, do you want? She dunked on me at the last second. It was the 0.4 Derek Fisher Lakers shot, and she, as soon as the cancer diagnosis, she just ran to the locker room and it's full control, because that's what women want in a partner, right? Like a strong, confident, tough, virile man that is completely useless. Right? I hear it all the time. It's like, oh, my husband, he's scary and he's tough, but he's a real teddy bear. Yeah, that's because he probably was an independent, strong man, and then just food, dad bod, useless, nothing. No one likes him, no one loves him. Why? So now I'm fucking Mr. Burns. And Smithers over here is finally like, oh, yes, finally, yes. Can I have no salt in the oven? Shut the fuck up! Eat what I give you. So I'm selling holiday edition Happy Wife Save for My shirts. They're red. I was gonna do the joke. Has anyone who has not heard this joke? Yeah, good. I knew I was gonna be with friends, so the saying happy wife, happy life, but when you're with the Latina, it's more like happy wife, safe from knife, because that bitch will cut me. That's what you say when people ask you about the shirt. I learned a few things while I was out. I learned not to trust travel shows. I was asked to talk about this, which I found odd, but I have no problem talking about it. I am a fan of San Antonio. I am an unapologetic San Antonio geek. I think that being from San Antonio is an underappreciated, dialect, an underappreciated region, right? Thank you, because when you go to other cities, it's like, ATL, Atlanta, we do it like that. I heard North Carolina, they got their own accents, but San Antonio has their own accent, and no one fucking acknowledges it. Everyone talks about New Orleans, and you say New Orleans, and all that stuff like that. You come to San Antonio, and you want to talk about gender neutrality, right? The word dude fucking is for everybody. If someone is a they or them in San Antonio, it's like, what's up, dude? And they're like, the fuck, man? They don't care. And nobody gets offended. Nobody gets upset. Nobody says that but if you call they or them a she or him, they, what the fuck? Respect my pronouns. Sorry, dude. It's good. One could argue that's other places, but that's fucking Saytown 2-0, Countdown City, bitch. We own dude. I was asked to talk about a post I made that was a catfish post about a taco place. I tend to do that on my posts. Like I don't do the whole TLDR. Do you guys know what TLDR is? It stands for too long didn't read. And that goes for everyone on social media, because if someone you guys have done it where, people are like, I'm so sad, my grandma died, and then care emoji, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm not going to read the rest of this shit. Because it's really like awkward to like share grievances and condolences while you're taking a shit. Like, don't you ever feel bad that you're like, oh my god, let me know, boom, anything that you need, I'm here for you, boom. I remember when your aunt used to make me tamales, boom. And that person's like, oh my god, it's so nice, heart-like, boom, because they're shitting too. Yeah, it's bad giving condolences, but it's even worse grieving on them. My girl, I love her so much. And then when your friends die, do you delete them? I have so many dead friends that I invited to this show. I'm like, yeah, David, come on, man. He died in 2013. But fuck it. I'm just clicking all the D's. I don't know what to do when my dead friends come up on my memories. I usually like their comments because, you know, sad. And then I respond, where you been? Just so their wife or their sister has access to their account. Oh my god! Because I want that done to me. Because I mean, I'm gonna come up on a lot of y'all's memories probably pretty soon. And if I do, reply. I'm gonna make it a point to start commenting on a lot of your stuff and be like, fuck you, like whatever it is. Whatever it is, you know, I won't do it on like when you lose your aunt, but like, if it's something like, you know, Workout Wednesday, my own private physical therapy, like, and then, fuck you. And then I die and all that stuff. And you look at the memories and, you know, 2 years ago, Larry commented on your post, fuck you. And I want you to heart it and reply, where you been? Anyway, yeah, so I can't get a hard on. And it sucks because I lost a bunch of weight. I think I didn't acknowledge that. I went from like 220 to 120, and I'm at 140 now because I've been, you know, fucking eating. And it's crazy because I lost my fupa. For those of you that don't know what, there's a lot of anagrams in my set today. For those of you that don't know what a fupa is what is it? Fat under pelvic area.
Fat
Right.
under pussy area.
Under pussy area. Yikes. Very specific. But men, as I'm sure you're well aware, have fupas too. It's kind of like the plunger end of your dick. In-shape guys don't know what it is. They have no idea. But if you start to gain a little weight, you get this little like mushroom head under where your dick is, and it takes away a little bit. It's kind of like, you know, those like, you know, I don't know what it's called, but the British royalty would wear those like, those things. Is it an ass guy? No, they're frilly things, like, your dick would have a hairy one. And if, like, If you trimmed, it looked really weird because it looked like a plunger when it would, like when you do the part of the plunger, like that's what it looked like. And so I had a pulmonary embolism, guys, in the hospital. I was really scared. I could have died from that. It's a clot in the lung, right? But I'm still here. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, and when you're a fighter, I'm like, no, I'm not. I ain't fighting shit. I'm just laying there. Hey, real quick, let's pin the fupa. Okay. Are there any other cancer fighters in the audience? Make some noise if you survived cancer. Yeah, Roger Mars. Just Roger and Regan? No? Okay. That's it? It's okay. All right, so what we're going to do, and what you all are going to help me with, is if God blesses me with the strength to do more shows, you guys are going to go to them, and we are going to get more cancer fighters and patients in the audience, even if they come for free. If they can't afford it, we're going to get them. Okay? Is that cool? Okay. Because people are like ashamed of it. It's weird. They shouldn't be ashamed of it. They should be proud of it, you know? But the one thing that I will say is it's patronizing to say, you're a real fighter. Because this is how I fought. We don't do anything. We didn't sign up for it. Like a fighter wants to fight or defend himself and shit, and you just fucking lay there, get cut up, or go through chemo and just deal with it. It's the cards were dealt, and we just fucking like, all right, like hit me, bust sometimes. There goes my kidney, right? Hit me, ah shit, there goes my boner. So. I can have your boners. That's the other thing. Oh my God! People kept telling me like when I was losing weight, they would be like, "Well, you know what? You can have some of mine." I'm like, I need muscle mass, you fucking asshole. But I can't tell my aunt that. Hey, Flacco. Hey, bitch. What if I reversed it? Oh, you're looking thin. Oh, you're looking fucking fat. Wow, look at you. Look how fat and healthy you are. I miss food. I can't have potatoes. Avocados. I can't have bananas, spinach. So all the healthy shit, can't have it. No burgers, no tomato cheese, no mayonnaise. But I can have it plain, dry. White boy. I can have. I don't know if I said it earlier, I'm saying it again. I can have spoiled white boy burgers. I don't know if anyone's ever worked at restaurants or are white. But you know the white kids that actually could make choices on what they ate? And they're like, I don't want tomato, I don't want cheese, mustard, it's gross. And they would just eat just the burger patty and the white bread. That's me. when I was reading the diet, I was like, oh, so basically eat like a spoiled white kid? And they're like, yeah, man, chicken nugget it up, motherfucker. Go ahead. I do this joke about Ancestry.com. Have you guys heard that joke before? The thing about Ancestry.com, so Andy had signed me up, right? And it turns out that I am 130% from here. I've added to it, because I would say Mexicans don't need Ancestry.com, right? All we need is a quinceañera. You see the commercials. You see the commercials for Ancestry.com or DNA 123, all that sort of stuff. And it's a white person, and they're like, I went to Ancestry.com, and I found out that my great-great-grandfather is British royalty. He has a fupa around his neck. And I'm like, British royalty? Bitch, my great-great-grandfather worked at the Rodriguez tire shop down the street. That man is 56 years old. You don't need Ancestry.com. You go to Quinceañera and you can be 7 generations deep before you hit 65. Because it's just teen mom, teen mom, teen mom, teen mom. Do the math, 0, 14, 28, 46. I haven't hit 60 yet. That's okay. I'm proud of it. I have a, what is it, Rachel? 5-generation picture. Fucking badass. Lucky. You're lucky to have great-great-grandparents still alive. It's the fucking masa, dude. Masa keeps us alive. I think that's why I'm still around. I just got fucking masa around my heart. It was filtering my kidneys through all the fucking... Because the thing with this is not a comedy set, I'm just talking. Because the thing about the renal diet is that Mexican food, I can't have it. I can't have corn tortillas because of the potassium, I can't have beans because of the phosphorus, the rice has too much salt, right? I can't have a fucking Mexican plate. And so I think about all the diseases that us Mexicans have and we still kick. Yeah, we don't have legs. But we still kick. We're fucking... We're like, I'll take a Mexican plate number 2. Give me the ball, give me the ball. But we still got it. What do you call fake spaghetti? Impasta. Knee slapper. I've been on Dallas for 40 years. But see, people that really don't need Ancestry.com are black people. And that's what they were trying to advertise to. I don't know if you see the recent ones, but it's a young black man and his mother, and he's like, look, Mom, I didn't know Grandpa got a Purple Heart, and it cuts right away, because she probably said, yeah, and he also didn't know that he had a choice between either going to jail or going to the army because he was walking on the wrong side of the road. Because I can only imagine a black man getting Ancestry.com paying $99 a year to say like, okay, let me look at the files on what they have on my lineage. Oh, look at that. My great-great-grandfather owned a business in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oh, fuck. Well, let me look at his father. His father, okay. Ooh, his father died young. His father died at 19. It was a suicide. Oh, there's a picture of it. Wow, look at all those people smiling. Well, at least they found him. Well, this is getting depressing. Let me see my great-great-grandfather, see what they have on file for him. Oh, a receipt of sale. Well, that's depressing. But was it worth $99? It makes me realize why they don't want to teach critical race theory in public school. Because it's depressing and they'd rather have you fucking pay for it. They don't want to give it away for free in public school. So, to lighten the mood, my boner. I didn't know, I thought I was a dirty guy. I had a thing for nurses. Love nurses. Scrubs, the white things, you know, and it was, the stereotypical nurse outfit or whatever, or scrubs. And so if there was like, a really sexy, dude that would come in, I'd be like, right? McSteamy, Like if they wore real tight shit like Regis. How can he be so little and have ill-fitting clothes? I don't understand. He's tiny and that shirt fit him like a fucking latex glove, poor guy. You see how tight? It made his eyes all... Things have changed, Things have changed. I thought I was a dirty guy, and when I finally got to, be in a hospital naked, I was like, oh man, this is a fantasy finally. My libido was absolutely shot. And I had nurses messing with my junk constantly, because that's what kidneys are about. Kidneys are about junk. And I'm like, I Google searched this multiple times. This is gonna be hot. No, it wasn't. And I had an angiogram when they did the pulmonary embolism. And they were like, we need to check your heart and we need to see if it's clogged. And I'm like, okay. And so naturally, when you have heart problems, they tell you, we're gonna shave your nuts. I know that doesn't get a laugh for people that know about angiograms, but I don't know why God put the entrance to our heart next to our dick. I think that explains everything. Andy was one of the first women to touch my dick, and I fell in love with her. Probably because she touched my artery that leads straight to my heart. I didn't get it. I said, why don't you go to my heart, stupid? Like to the doctor, I'm like, my heart's here, stupid. And the doctor's like, no, you have to go to the heart. You don't understand, Mr. Garza. And he was white. And they're just exhausted. And I'm like, okay. And then the jokes, I get asked a lot, are you really lighthearted in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, these guys have heard everything 1,000 times. They have stock jokes ready for you. So I'm there and I'm nervous. I never had an angiogram before. And they legit fucking right? And so with all the weight I lost, and I let my pubes go. For the record, I was Bob Ross in it. But this happy tree was little baby. It was a red oak, it was just falling. That used to be a strong one. You could tell from the circles in the middle of it. And so they're like, oh, we're gonna give you a free Brazilian. And I was like, and I didn't even know, of course, know what a Brazilian was. But just for my own entertainment, I was like, what's that? Oh, Mr. Garza. No, it's just a joke that Jeremy says. Jeremy, what's a Brazilian? Jeremy. Is that a hard procedure? It's only done in Brazil. No, Mr. Garza, it's. I'm just kidding. Shave my balls, Jeremy. Get them going. I hope. You know what? You need shears. And he was like, "Oh fuck!" And then like, if you can make a medical staff person cuss, you're good for the rest of your stay. It's a secret. It's a gem. I promise you. If you just say something and they go, fuck, then they're gonna fucking get you all the fucking applesauce you want, baby. They're gonna sneak in sandwiches that they're gonna be like, someone brought Grady's, Mr. Garza. Here's a fucking beef rib. Just make them cuss. I promise. I mean, because they're seeing your shit. Because you're fighting. I'm fighting. I learned from a friend, I don't want to end on this, but I'm going to end it. What a tribute is. It's really gross. Do you guys want gross or do you guys want? Tell me. Gross? It's gross. I used to joke a lot like this when I first started. And now I made it a little lighter. How was it? How do you guys like this new kind of like laid back thing? Is it good? I was scared and I had nothing prepared, and I was dared, and you know, you guys stared. I learned what a tribute is. You guys know what a tribute is? A tribute, apparently, I learned this recently, and it's been a thing for a long time. It's usually done for like porn stars online, and it used to be through the mail back in like the 80s and 90s. But like dudes would like jerk off on their pictures and be like, "This is for you." Have y'all ever heard of this? So, a friend of mine was telling me that we used to do tributes a lot. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, well, you were telling me about getting in contact with like celebrities on the internet, and you know, I'm not fucking commenting on like Joe Biden's picture so he can pass the Healthcare Act. Joe Biden, right? Like, here's a tribute. You look like you have a beard. But apparently, these porn stars on Twitter post and say, "Where are my tributes?" and then retweet a tribute. And can you imagine fucking putting that shit online? But apparently, it started with print. It started with like magazines, like porno mags, and then they would take a picture of it and mail it. And so I've always thought it was kind of funny to do like the history of tributes and how they've like elevated through technology, because it started off in print. Then with the technology of the internet, you were able to print pictures yourself, put your tribute on it, and send it on what's called an email. Then social media came and you're able to take a picture on your phone once you printed it out. My friend was telling me that what he would do is he had a phone that his wife didn't know about, that he would, post these tributes on. And because we live in the time that we live, he would actually jerk off on his phone and then take a picture of his phone with the girl's picture and then blah, 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 blah. Right? And then take a picture and then post it on his, troll Twitter account. Like, here's your tribute, Kamala Harris or whatever. Condoleezza Rice, like whoever the fuck. He's doing it. Mayor Nuremberg. Here you go. Fix the potholes on Main Street, please. But Nuremberg jizz all over it. But I felt bad for him because he said that he did it once when his wife was at home, and right when he finished, she called him, and he had to pick up the phone and then talk to her. And then it was like Freddy Krueger, and I was like, that's what you get for not sending your wife a tribute. I'm not ending on that. This has been fun. Thank you all very much. I'll end on this. When I was in the hospital, I had a lot of free time. When I'm on dialysis, I have even more free time. Sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, sometimes I'll listen to music that's recommended to me, and sometimes I'm so tired, I just want to, relax and listen to stuff that I'm familiar with. Problem is, when you're hyper-focused on something, it starts to kind of ruin things for you. And I don't know if you've ever heard the song Regulators by Warren G. But that is not a tough song. Everyone thinks it's a tough song. Everyone's like, regulators, I'm regulator, right? It's a tough song for Nate Dogg. But in today's climate, with all the arguing that we're doing with mass shootings and what is considered murder and self-defense, Regulators is just a confession of a mass murder. And Warren G has special needs. Now, there's nothing wrong with people with special needs. But if you listen to it, it starts off very, very normal, very nice. It was a clear white night, it was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the heat so I can get some more. Chilling in my ride, chilling on the floor. Then it gives Nate Dogg's perspective. Just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. So I suspect that Nate Dogg was Warren G's caretaker, but he was a shitty one, and he fucking lost him. You seen Rain Man? I'm an excellent driver. I'm an excellent driver. Warren G was fucking trying to consume. On a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. But his ADD saw a car full of girls and needed to. Because all you skirts know what's up with 213, right? And in Warren G, fucking autistic as fuck. So I hooked for left on 21 and Lewis. Who cares? I saw some brothers shooting dice and I said, let's do this. Now, anyone who doesn't, because here's the problem. He jumped out the ride and said, what's up? Poor Warren G thought that they were just playing a board game. Innocent. An innocent thing. He jumped out his right. If we were on the east side of the LBC, specifically on 21 and Lewis, it sounds like he's telling a cop this. If we're in that fucking hood and we saw a dude shooting dice, would you jump out of your car and play with it? Fuck no, dude. Only an innocent mind would do that. I jumped out the ride, I said, what's up? What did they do? Their Second Amendment right. It was their property. They stood their ground. They jumped out his right, I said, what's up? They brothers pulled some gat, and I said, I'm stuck. Then irresponsible fucking Nate Dogg. See these girls peeping me, I'm a ride and swerve, these hookers looking so hard, they straight hit the curb. So again, talking to a cop about a vehicular accident. Hookers looking so hard, they straight hit the curb. But to think of a better thing than some horny tricks, I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix. Right? Warren G. Innocently. They took my rings. They took my Rolex. I looked at the brothers and I'm like, damn, what's next? He doesn't know what happened. He just wanted to play Yahtzee or whatever with dice. He goes, I laid all those busters down. I skipped it. So I said, I'm stuck. Help me out, crowd. What's the next one? Oh, here we go. 16 in the clip. And 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. Now they're dropping and yelling. It's a tad bit late. This Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate? Warren G didn't regulate shit! And let's take the perspective of the people playing dice. Nobody talks about the people playing dice. They were just in their front yard having innocent fun. Innocent fun. They weren't doing anything bad. They were just playing dice. And then some fucking special needs ass dude jumps in front of them like, what's up? And they're like, who are you? I'm protecting my property. And fucking Nate Dogg commits a mass shooting, murdering 5 people with witnesses. The hose. And this fucking psychopath. Everyone talks about how Jay-Z used to sell crack and Tupac's a real thug and 50 Cent got shot, a bunch of times in the face. But Nate Dogg, who died of natural causes, mind you, he's the only rapper that I've ever heard talk about committing mass murder and without a pause, without a breath, he laid all those busters down and let his gat explode. Now he's switching his mind back into freak mode? Can you imagine if Kyle Rittenhouse shot all those fucking people and then was like, what's up, girl? Nate Dogg is the toughest motherfucker ever. That dude is a fighter. I'm Larry Garza. Thank you.